So I have a set of hames here. I am going to put a new set of traces on them. These are just old farm style, plain black coated steel farm hames. So we've got our socket wrench, and it has a little bolt that connects here. It just screws right into it. Some of them will have a nut on the bottom. A lot of them, this bottom piece is threaded, so it just screws right in. So we got to get our socket in the right way. And this is a 3/4 inch. Yep. So we've got the bolt that comes out. We have basically a tube and a funky little washer here. What this allows you to do is it allows you to kind of set where your traces are. If you have thinner or thicker traces, also it lets you kind of move them up and down. If you leave it like this, the trace can move up and down the whole length of it. If you flip it around this way, if you got a narrower trace, it's going to be restrict it slightly. It's going to keep it a little bit higher up. If you put it here, same thing, it's got full movement. It's just, narrowing this part a little bit. If you flip it this way, you can kind of see the little hat stick out. It's going to push your trace just a little bit lower down. So these are some of the little finicky things that you can play with to see which line is going to give you the best draft on your horse. And these traces, these are bolt-in traces. These are continuous ones. You can get ones with short tugs on them that have a buckle, but these ones are continuous. They've got a steel plate reinforcing them, and this is basically two ply. So we've got the outer biathane, and this looks like beta on the inside, and it's gonna go through that hole. So these are a little bit narrower. I think these are 1.25 inches. These traces can do up to 2 inches, and I am going to, how did I put it on the other one? I'm gonna just put it the way it was. But what we need to do is we're going to set this through first. It's a little tight, so I might need my hands empty to do this. There we go. So we just got to put this piece on first, push it through there. It is now on. This piece here is for a team attachment. It is welded on there, so it doesn't fall off. We also want to be sure that we have the correct side of the hames that we're putting it on. You notice this set, we've got a flat side, we've got a rounded side. The rounded side is going to go to the outside, the flat side is going to go towards the hames. We have our trace here. You notice we've got a little lip on this side. This is the inside of it. This is the outside. We want that smooth surface on the outside. So we want to be sure that as we put this in here, that the flat surface and the part with the little bump out are on the same side. So, got our little washer, looking at the other set to be sure I'm putting it the same way, because you don't want your traces off kilter. So we've got that lined up there. Take our bolt, slide it through everything, get it into the thread, and screw it on. We can just, at minimum hand tight, we'll do a couple turns on this, if we're going the right way. You don't have to do these super, super tight. This one's got, you can see it sticks out. Here, we'll move it closer. It sticks out a fair amount there. Just keep an eye on it. Sometimes through work, they'll work themselves out, but if you keep your eyeballs on it, you should have plenty of warning before anything terrible happens. It's not going to work out in one work session. So this one happens to be a 3/4 inch. That's fair. I think that's fairly standard for these large horse-sized farm hames. So there we go. We have it sitting on there, and it is now attached and ready to go.